Anthony Fluffy Hernandez is a future middleweight world champion, okay? I'm done pretending like, Fluffy, oh, he's good. He could be a top 5 guy. I got this shit dead to nails in my predictions, okay? I said Fluffy was gonna destroy Pereira. Okay, I did predict, I said, I could see an early round submission, but regardless, Fluffy's gonna melt Pereira, and he's gonna just pressure him too much. It's gonna be that relentless pressure. And now, what happened? We got ourselves a middleweight Marab, welcome back Khabib, right? This is literally Khabib reincarnated. Bilal Muhammad with entertaining ground and pound. I mean, it's endless. The comparisons are endless, but this guy is him, okay? And people doubted me. To this day, you still got people saying, oh, that Zerda kid, he's a bot. That Zerda kid doesn't know what he's talking about, he doesn't get the predictions right, but I do. I get every prediction right. When's the last time I got a prediction wrong? Okay, really just, I highly recommend, if you still, if you see a prediction video of mine and you go, I don't really care, you gotta watch these, man. You got to watch these, not only because I get them right, but because I'm the most entertaining predictor on YouTube, okay? Because I don't only get the prediction right, I get it right to a T, and now we got ourselves a future middleweight champion in Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and I'm sick. This is what I know. People are gonna be picking against him, and that's why I really call him the middleweight Marab, okay? I was saying that in my prediction video. He is the middleweight Marab, even though he has entertaining ground and pound, but why is he the middleweight Marab? I'll tell you why. Remember going into the Sean O'Malley fight? Just how many people were saying, dude, Marab gets hurt too easily. He's super chinny. He's like, dude, he's not that good. He's not that good in the grappling. Myself included. I was saying this stuff. I was saying this, this bullshit narrative that everybody wanted to push. Dude, Marab's a little bit overrated in the grappling, to be honest. His striking's a little shit. That's what they're going to be saying about Fluffy Hernandez. They're going to be saying, he gets hurt to the body too much, bro. We saw Pereira hurt him to the body in the first 20 seconds. And now what happened, motherfuckers? What happened? Exactly what I said was gonna happen, okay? And even better, because if Fluffy would have got that, first round, second round submission, I would have been like, all right, well, pretty impressive. But what did he do? Instead of going, instead of just finishing the fight, which he could have in, round 2, round 3, he decided, I really need to impress my boy Zerda. I'm gonna go for a 50-41, which is what he got, okay? Because if he wouldn't have finished it in the 5th round, he had 4 10-8 rounds. 4 10-8 rounds. That's absurd. And people are downing this guy, okay? And I said in my video, he looks like the looks are deceiving because he's got some flab to him, right? He's a former fat kid. You wouldn't expect this guy. You'd expect him to be a Shamil Gaziev, right? Maybe a former Shamil Gaziev. Gasses out a little too easily. He's, he looks like he belongs at the Santa Monica Pier here, and he's, rolling around doing some jujitsu with his buddies on the beach, and, you pass him by, you kind of say, oh, good for that guy, he's in shape, he's in some good shape, looks like a former fat kid, but no! The book! You gotta open the book! I said, don't judge a book by its cover, because this motherfucker belongs in the Dagestani mountains! He looks like he's out there, in the Georgian mountains with Marab, fucking training, CEO of EPO, this motherfucker, he looks like a blob, like a former blob, because, he's got some good weight to him now. He's lost some weight, obviously. But, dude, he's him. He's actually him. He's literally like a Khabib at middleweight, and he's the best grappler at middleweight. I said this in my video, okay? I said, he is the best grappler at middleweight, if I'm not including Khamzat necessarily. But now that I think about it, this is who we think Khamzat is, right? This is Khamzat if he had that gas tank. And I'm still going to be picking Khamzat to beat Whitaker. I just think this motherfucker is him, okay? And we're gonna be looking at some of these rankings, and I'm gonna tell you why exactly I think he's a champ, okay? But first, I do want to talk a little bit more about the matchup in itself, because Michel Pereira, he was a guy who everybody was saying Michel Pereira is just him. Michel Pereira is him. He's got flashy striking. He's destroying people. You got MMA Guru out here saying Michel Pereira, he destroys people. If I had to pick, he literally said that MMA Guru. He had the faulty analysis where he said, if I had to pick one of these guys against Whitaker, I could see Michel Pereira landing that shot and knocking out Whitaker. But, Fluffy, I don't think Fluffy has, Fluffy, I really couldn't see a way for him to win. Now, it's the complete opposite. Listen, Michel Pereira, he's a good win because 70% of people were picking Michel Pereira. They went into this thinking, Michel's got this in the bag, bro. He's just gonna fucking backflip KO Fluffy Hernandez. And what was I saying? I was saying, no, just because he could do it against, the local UFC reject who, is borderline fucking deserves to be cut out the UFC, but isn't. Like, Mikel Jacek or Ihor Pereira. He can do it to those guys. He could dominate those guys. But, once you go a little bit further into the Fluffy Hernandez's, who is a future champ, that's when, you can't do that, okay? You can't just fucking backflip KO fucking Anthony Hernandez. That's not gonna happen, bro. That is not gonna happen to my boy Fluffy, bro. I tried to tell y'all, bro. I tried to tell y'all this motherfucker's built different, bro. He ain't one of them, like, fucking, you can't just walk over this kid, bro. He different. I'm telling y'all, he built different, bro. And people said, I'm picking Michel Pereira, right? You had 70% of people picking him. So don't go, if you're one of these kids who's saying, bro, relax, it was a win over Michel Pereira, as if you didn't pick him. As if you didn't pick Michel Pereira. As if you go to Topology right now, 70% of people were picking Michel Pereira to win the fight. And, they were hyping this guy up. And let's not act like Michel Pereira isn't probably, one of the best round 1 fighters. Okay, this motherfucker's like a round 1 world champion. It's, if it were a battle of round 1s, it would be between Michael Chandler and Michel Pereira. That would be, the long reigning champions. It would be a fucking, a big rivalry between Michael Chandler and Michel Pereira. That would be the round 1 champion battle. And Michel Pereira would probably win it, okay? This motherfucker's a beast in round 1. And, Anthony Hernandez, despite the fact that, his tummy's pretty weak, guys. No, his tummy's pretty weak. I can see him getting hit to the body. This guy lost to Kevin Holland. That's another reason why he is middleweight Merab to me, okay? He is a Khabib in a sense, right? But he's really a middleweight Merab because of, he's had those early losses. He's not undefeated. And you're going to continue to see people saying, this guy looked bad against, him. Or this guy looked, he got beat by Kevin Holland. He got beat by Kevin Holland. How am I going to pick this guy to win a fight against, a Nursidina Mavov? Or, a Robert Whittaker, somebody like that, guarantee you, people are going to continue to pick against Fluffy, but I'm going to tell you this right now, I won't be one of those people. I'm not going to be one of those people, especially if you are 50-41ing anybody, especially a guy like Michel Pereira, who, everybody was saying, bro, this guy is a beast striker, he's too good, he's going to be able to find those shots, and he's going to be able to fucking, KO Fluffy. You're 50-45 and someone like that, brother. You're built different, okay? I'm not picking... Not even 50-45. Did I just say 50-45? 50-41. Okay, I always hype up the Ilia Topuria 50-42. And granted, it was against a higher level of competition because Josh Emmett, he's ranked number 5. He's only lost to, like, 2 guys, basically. And, Josh Emmett's a beast. And, Ilia Topuria is him for doing that. But, dude, Fluffy is also him for 50-41ing. 50-41ing is better than 50-42ing, and the way he did it, bro, the vicious ground and pound, this was entertaining, this wasn't hugging, this wasn't a, Merab, Bilal style of, they dominate, but do they really get those 10-8s in there? Are they really getting those 10-8s, or are they kind of just, shooting for the takedowns, they kind of hug you, they'll smudge you a bit, and, you got the crowd a little bored, but, with Fluffy, this motherfucker's out there, he's going for the fucking elbows, he's going for the submissions, he's getting the 10-8 rounds, and he's just, he's beating you. He's beating you to a pulp, he's submitting you, he's doing whatever he wants to do to you. And, the Indian-Brazilian, Michel Pereira, his Indian genetics came out, okay? And I don't mean to poke fun at Indians, Indians are cool guys or whatever, but listen, they're not the best fighters, okay? You got Anshul Jubilee and Michel Pereira. I know he's Brazilian, but, you can tell he's a little Indian there, but, listen, that's beyond the point. Fuck! Alright, well, I'm pulling up the rankings. I do have a section here, and listen, if you haven't clicked off the video yet, good, because you're about to figure out why I think Fluffy has such a good chance of of becoming champ here. So let's really take a look at this, okay? Let's take a look at what do we got here. So we got Dricus du Plessis as the current champ, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves. When because Fluffy's not getting a title shot off of beating Michel Pereira. So who would be next for him? Okay, we got Paulo Costa, but Costa, dude. This motherfucker Costa he's gonna lose to these guys. Costa would 100% lose to Fluffy. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But, dude, Costa, I don't want to see Costa have to be forced to fight Fluffy. I think a Roman Dolidze for Costa is good. But speaking of Roman Dolidze, you know what? When he's right here, we'll do We'll do Costa versus Dolidze, Brendan Allen versus Marvin Vettori. Listen, Jared Cannonier, that could be a win. That could be a win for us. But the thing is, Jared Cannonier, we're feeding him to the wolves again. We already gave him a fucking Caio Borralho. What are we just gonna fucking kill Jared Cannonier? Because I'm gonna tell you this right now. The thing about middleweight is we haven't seen these relentless pressure grapplers, okay? Because, we've seen Hamzat, but Hamzat hasn't even fought a middleweight, really, right? I'm not talking about fucking, Kevin Holland, who bounces back and forth, or Usman, who decided, on 2 hours' notice that, sure, I can fight at middleweight, bro. I'm talking about a real middleweight who is, not a GM3, not one of these guys, somebody who's, in the top 15, in that top 10 area. We haven't seen Hamzat fight one of them. And even though I'm gonna pick Whitaker, or I'm not gonna pick Whitaker, I'm gonna pick Hamzat, I don't think Hamzat's gonna be, 5 rounds without relentless pressure. Because, we've seen it. We've seen he gasses out. We know he gasses out. That's why people are picking Whitaker. But a guy like Fluffy, on the other hand, he don't gas out. He don't gas out. He has an iron chin. Don't care what you have to say. He has an iron chin. He does have a little bit of a weak stomach, but really, how weak is it if he's taking shots from Michel Pereira in the first round and, he's eating them. He's doing a little taunt on him. And you could continue to say, because I guarantee you there's somebody watching this right now, if there is somebody watching this right now, they're going to be saying, dude, glaze and Fluffy, bro. You're glazing him, bro. He's been hurt to the body before. Okay, no, I'll let you. I won't even debate you. Just keep picking against him, because this motherfucker's gonna find a way to pull it out, just like a Merab, just like a Bilal, just like anybody who you're betting against, except he's way more entertaining than him. He's way more entertaining with his pressure. Jared Cannonier, I'd pick Fluffy to beat him, bro. Especially at his old age, at Jared's old age. I love Jared Cannonier. He's a cool guy. The Killer Gorilla, if you've heard him on the Joe Rogan podcast, he's a real middleweight. He's not one of these, these fake NPCs. But, like a Nursidina Mavov. He's not a fucking NPC. And speaking of, I'm going to skip past Caio Borralho. Because Caio, on the other hand, he could be a future champ too. But, if I had to pick between the dark horses, if I had to pick between these guys in any division, if you gave me, a Peyton Talbot, who everybody says future bantamweight champ, or, I don't know, a Gene Silva, Mauricio Rufy, whoever you're thinking is the biggest dark horse, Carlos Prates, if you had to give me all the dark horses, I would have picked Fluffy to be champ, and I still would. And that's the thing. The win that he had against Roman Kopylov, that was the battle of the dark horses. And then they put him right after into another battle of dark horses with Michel Pereira, and he's proven he is the best dark horse. And by now, he's not even considered a dark horse. He's considered a good-ass prospect who has a chance to become a champion in my eyes, and I think in most people's eyes, okay? So, listen, he is a future champ. Don't put him against Caio Borralho. Marvin Vettori is going to fight Brendan Allen. We could do a Nursidina Mavov. A Mavov. This is the problem with middleweight, is we got so many people that are fighting for the belt, and people will still call this division, they think that it's 2016, 2020, 20 whatever, and they think that, this is, bro, they think it's 2021. They think it's 2021 middleweight where, bro, come on. Middleweight sucks. Who is there at middleweight? It's just Izzy. It's just Izzy and Robert Whitaker. That's it. No, this is 2024, motherfuckers. It's 2024 middleweight where we have everybody could be a champ. You can't tell me Sean Strickland couldn't just waltz up in there and be a champ, against Strickus. He basically won the first fight. He could be the champ. Whitaker could, go on a run. Caio Borralho is looking good. And Mavov could fucking, fluke it. All these guys are good championship level contenders, and people will still call this shit and glaze bantamweight. Despite the fact that bantamweight, I'm sorry to tell you this, it's either Umar or Merab. It's either Umar or Merab. Sean O'Malley's not going to get the belt back. Sorry. There's nobody else there. I'm going to tell you this right now. Song Yadong, not going to get the belt. Corey Sandhagen, not going to get the belt. Corey Sandhagen, not going to get the fucking belt. Figgy's not going to get the belt. Maybe Jan, but no. No, Jan's not going to get the belt because Merab would just beat him. So, bantamweight's 2 guys. Middleweight's fucking 50 guys, okay? 50 guys could be the champ here. That's why it's the most stacked division. I made a separate video on that, but dude, this is actually a good rant video. I hope you guys are listening to this because this is a good rant video. It's a good rant video. This is an entertaining rant video as well. Listen, Mavov would get beat. We saw what Brendan Allen did to him, and Brendan bought Allen. Just goes on people. He just fucking hugs them. He doesn't go for that ground and pound that he could have had when he, had Mavov perfectly on the ground, but decided, I'm going to fucking stare into his soul and, try and, gaze into his eyes and, lull him to fucking sleep. in front of the Parisian crowd, right? That's what he thought he was doing. And then low IQ Allen loses the next 2 rounds, which is good for me because I picked Imavov to win. But I wouldn't pick Imavov to win against Fluffy. I would not. And if you would, I'm curious to think why you would. I'm genuinely curious because at this point, I think a lot of people would be picking Fluffy to beat Imavov. And if they wouldn't, you still don't realize Fluffy's potential because he would. That right there puts him in the top 4. That puts him in the top 4. He could already go for a title shot. But listen, let's just do this. Give him Jared Cannonier. Give him Imavov. We got a championship fight there, brother. We got a championship fight. 2 more fights this guy could be fighting for the title already. And if it's against Dricus, I hate to say this. You know, Dricus has got that Marauder style. He could just bust through everybody. But dude, I'm telling you, relentless pressure beats the Marauder style. Relentless pressure beats the Marauder style. I would honestly, you know, I don't want to say it now because it's way too early to predict. You know, maybe in about a year or so, I'll fully know if he's going to beat a Dricus. And who I'm picking right now between is a Dricus or a Strickland. And I think Strickland is probably going to beat Dricus, to be honest. Am I a little biased? Sure, because I am a Strickland fan at the end of the day. But Dricus is also him. Okay, I'm a Dricus fan too. More of a Strickland fan. Think Strickland won the first fight. We'll see how Dricus, you know, changes up his game plan. We'll see what Sean ends up doing. But between both of these guys, even though I'm a Strickland fan, dude, I could see Fluffy being a problem. Because when has Strickland, and, you know, remind me, maybe there's a time, maybe I'm forgetting something. When has Strickland gone against somebody who's constantly shooting takedowns? Not a Brendan Allen. A guy who shot 29 takedowns in his last fight. He doesn't gas out. And I know Strickland doesn't gas out, but dude, you know, Dricus was getting some good takedowns. He didn't do anything with them. Fluffy gets a takedown. He's doing shit with it. He's shooting again. He's constantly going. He's constantly shooting. He's not gonna fucking, you know, stop. Despite the fact that he looks like, you know, he's a little overweight. He's fucking him. It's unbelievable what he does at, you know, even though he looks like a bit like a, you know, a former blob, he's still doing this shit. So I don't know, bro. Dricus, Strickland, he could beat them. That's the thing. And I'm crazy because I'm saying this early, and I'm saying this right now. But dude, this is gonna age well. I'm telling you. When's the last time something I said aged poorly? Ilia Topuria, he's gonna become the GOAT. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez will be the middleweight champion. I don't know when. He's only 30 as well. He just turned 31, but dude, he just turned 31. His birthday was like 2 days ago, so he's 30. Okay, he's entering his prime. We probably got, and it's middleweight. It's middleweight. This guy's got so much potential, bro. He could fight till he's fucking 35 and still be in his prime. Even past that, bro. I'm telling you, he is a lock to be a champion. Maybe not now. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. Pero I promise, one day I will be champion, okay? I will. I will be champion. I'm Fluffy Hernandez, brother. I'm gonna be fucking champion one day, brother. Okay? And I'm done with it. I'm done with it. This is a good rant video. Listen, let me know what you think. Are you still gonna doubt me? They all doubted me. They all said I couldn't do it. Look at me now. Look at me now. Okay? I picked Fluffy. I know he is the favorite, but dude, too many people picked against him. I'm not gonna act like this isn't a good pick. I said he was gonna destroy him. And I think this proved to me I'm done picking against Fluffy. I haven't picked against him. I didn't pick against against him when he fought Kopilov. I didn't pick him when he fought fucking Michel Pereira. Because I've realized by now, he's him. He would beat a Jared Cannonier. He would beat an Imavov. He could beat a Whitaker depending on what Hamzat looks like. Let's see what Hamzat looks like in the Whitaker fight. Let's see if we're gonna pick, you know, Fluffy to beat a Whitaker. But you know what? I think I am, because Whitaker's getting up there in age. You know, and Hamzat's not a real fighter, bro. Hamzat's not a real fighter. Let's be real. This motherfucker, by the time he fights for the championship, it's gonna be 2053. Okay, 2053. That's Hamzat's era. He fights once a fucking decade. Okay, so we can't even count Hamzat in this shit. So that's why, you know, Fluffy's him. Fluffy's him. He's going to be the future of the middleweight division. It'll be a Hamzat versus Fluffy rivalry. That's what's going to be the championship era in 2030, okay? Or not 2030, whatever, okay? Who cares? This is a good-ass video. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, and, you know, let me know, do you finally realize by now, you know, Fluffy's him. Fluffy's him. And, you know, he's just going to go on to do great things. Don't doubt him anymore. Read the book, okay? I said don't judge a book by its cover. Just read that first page. Read that first page of Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. Watch some tape on him, bro. You're gonna realize this guy's him. He's him. And if you saw, you know, the stat records that he broke last night, you're gonna realize he's him, brother. Okay. See you guys in the next video. Peace. See you guys.